Michael Penix, right? From UW, right?
Yep.
Like everyone is saying that he could go to Seattle with the 26th pick, right? They've got a lot of sample size on him. And I've been, the one thing that turned me off about Penix was how he was so afraid to get hit in the national championship game.
That's why I lost him.
Okay, I get it. He was throwing darts all season. He had his little, demonstration going. But
darts.
But man, I mean, yeah, he was
like the game before that though.
Texas,
oh my God, I was like, this is the number one pick. Like,
but then when they start putting that wood on him, pause. He was chucking and ducking, and there was no game tomorrow. Like I don't give a fuck if you broke your ribs or whatever. What do y'all think about him? Because I can't call it.
I like him. I ain't gonna lie. He was bad that game. I'm with you. And that should be alarming, but at the same time, like, I don't think we should get overly discouraged off a game. Though I think we gotta look at the sample size though.
And he got 3 season-ending injuries at Indiana, maybe 4.
So there you go. That if I have any concern, that's my personal biggest concern. That right there. He's he's had really bad injuries already. How sustainable will he be? Can you trust him to not have a major injury? That's my biggest concern. Other than that, man, I like the cat. JB's talked about it multiple times about the complications of being like a lefty at QB and how the offense got to make a lot of adjustments. And JB can kind of dive into that more if he wants to. So I understand that part, but I like him a lot. I think he's mature. I think that ball has some zip on it that you can make just about any throw that you need to make. I think he plays smart. He was a little scary in that big game, which again, that's alarming, but he was in the big game. You know what I'm saying? He did get to that point, and he played amazing in the game before that, which was also a big game. So you get there. So
you made one statement. You said it was just a game. It wasn't just a game. It was the national title's last game. This was the last game for this quarterback to play. You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I hear you.
I got for the kid. It was the last game for the kid to play. Like, it was his last game, in my opinion. It wasn't just a regular game. And here's my take as a personnel guy evaluating it. I came on the show the next day and said, I lost him. He lost me in that game. Michigan had the most draftable players, 16 on their roster. Texas, knowing Sark, one of my better friends in this business, plays with the more, I would say, finesse style as a mentality as a head coach compared to Harbaugh. That defense was the closest thing that Penix will face in the NFL because they had 16 draftable players, 11 on defense total. That is what you're going to see in the NFL every day, Smitty.
But he'll have more too. He'll have all league guys with him too. That's the difference. You can't go to a bar fight with just
I get all that.
Nah, Smitty. I mean, I think if he's a first-round quarterback, they're going to be building around him.
But I'm saying, regardless, he's in the NFL. Is what I'm trying to say. Like he's gonna be around all NFL players. It's different.
Yeah, I get it.
The separation, the line separation is not the same in NFL, in my opinion, compared to college.
But to me, he still has to.
Scrubs.
Yeah, he's got to do what he has to do, Smitty. What he performed in that last game. Listen, you cannot give a heart transplant. I don't care who's around you. I can't give you a heart transplant to Tank's point. This dude dropped back and was throwing off his back foot because he felt heat. You can't do it in the NFL. You got to stand in there or manipulate the pocket and step up. He showed me some shit that I was like, damn.
And look, and like, I go ahead, Smitty.
No, one last thing. I would say he will probably be a first round pick, but he's not projected to go top 5, top 10. As you just mentioned, he might go to Seattle. So I think he'll end up in a solid situation. I don't think he's going to end up on like a horrible team where he has to carry the whole load. Nah, he's gonna be in a situation where they got some pieces already in place where he'll have some dogs around him too. So that's my last thing I want to say.
Well, I would say this, man. Listen, I know about PTSD, right? Like when you've had season-ending injuries, you don't want to have that again, man. Like I've seen some real like players that changed forever. Keith Rivers. When Hines Ward broke his jaw, Keith Rivers never turned and ran to the ball the same again. He would look, he would peek, and then he would run. He would never just burst out and run anymore. And so I felt like Michael Penix, he knew that he was going to the NFL after this game, and he was like, man, I can't get hurt in this game. I can't get hurt in this game. you know, and so
I agree.
I just don't see how, like, okay, once he gets in the league, in the show, I mean, I hope he lets it go.
That's what I think. I think what you just said, I think he's like, hey, I want to win this bad, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm not about to pull a Jalen Smith. I'm not about to get hurt in my last game when I'm about to be a first round guy.
You can't do that. You can't do that. I'm saying that PTSD shit's real, but you can't do that, dog. Like, if he I know for a fact, if he's in a dark room watching that film by himself, folks is cringing like, damn, dog.
And I want to clarify a comment in the chat. CJ Stroud struggled 2 years in a row versus the same Michigan team. No, he didn't. See, that's why you don't know football. You know fantasy draft points. You didn't watch the game and fucking understand what CJ Stroud looked like in the game versus Michigan versus Michael Penix in the game versus Michigan. Stop. No, he didn't. CJ Stroud stood in the pocket, took a chin shot, and went through the football, which is equivalent to what has to happen in the NFL. Michael Penix did not do those things in that game. Stop.
We did have questions about CJ Stroud, though, coming into the draft, though. I will say that. And he asked, well, I'm not talking about you, JB, but he didn't go number one. Is what I'm trying to say. So, you know.
There is Penix. What do you mean? What is your point?
My point is that, going to my original point from the beginning, we all just guessing right now, taking educated guesses, y'all. And we got people on here that, I mean, you guys, we know the game, but we don't really know until they go out there and step foot. Michael Penn might go out there and put on a show with the right team. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. But let's be honest here, okay? What we do know is what? They're trading quarterbacks for nothing at an all-time high. That's facts, as you would say. There's no guessing in that.
That's a fact. Okay? You can't argue that.
The other takeaway guess, elimination by process of elimination.
Yeah.
The quarterback marketplace is every single year draft a new one to replace the one I just drafted 2 years ago. This is not a good look for the position. I'm just telling you. That's just not what the NFL used to do. We are now, what do you want to, sacrificing possible Tank Johnsons that helps our team get better interior-wise because we have to be good on O-line and D-line regardless of whatever else you have.
Right.
We now can't draft that guy because we have to replace another quarterback every single year, and it's always the same franchises